And good evening, everyone. It is May 21st, 2024, and we finally have completed the SS-24 or the RT-23 missile train, the Russian nuclear missile train. And this is just a review of the project. And yeah, I knew it was long, but you have to see it in person. I think it's one of the best Lego kits I ever put together. And I know it's not Lego, but building block, if you will. And just for size comparison, this is the new express passenger train car. And this is one of the two cars which are carried by the engine. I mean, just the weight alone, this has to be, oh my goodness, 4 times the weight, maybe even more than that. It's pretty crazy. And you can see the difference just on top of again, this is a 6 wide car and this is an 8 wide. And it sounds great, and it is great, but man, it is just so much bigger. So this is a review. It took me, well, it takes more than a couple hours to put something like this together. I think it's like 4,300 pieces, and we'll go over all the little minifigures that are included with it. Again, it is not motorized, and the wheels turn, but the bogies do not turn to accommodate for a curved track. That's probably one of the downsides of this particular design, although I certainly believe that accommodations could be made to upgrade these. Now, of the 3, I would just say vehicles that come with it, of course, the first one is the engine, and we'll open that up. This is the operations car, and we'll take the top off of there and show you what's in here. And this is where the personnel of the missile train, the nuclear missile train, will sleep. It also has a little kitchen in there, a bathroom. This is where the extra service tools are located, and it also has a computer room, which the little angry Russian minifigures would use when it does come time to shoot off that nuke. And of course, this would either represent something in the past or potentially one of those nukes that Andy Weber and the Defense Threat Reduction Agency didn't collect as part of the new Luger program. And then last but not least is the last car, and this is where the nuclear missile is stored. This is the part that will lift up. It will have the silo with which the missile will shoot out of. Again, it's functional, but it's not motorized. There's no way to crank it. You actually have to use your hands to lift up the missile, but it's still pretty awesome. It comes with a couple of additional accessories. One, it does come with some track, but no curved track. Of course, no curved track because this thing can't go around turns. So it just has just enough straight track to be able to rest it on a few straight track sections. It comes with a little tiny, stairs to allow for the little Russian angry minifigures to get into the operations car. And then it does include this little platform here, which is a surveillance tower, if you will, with a light. I have to say it's very poor quality. This particular part right here, if you just put a minifigure on it, it almost like half collapses. It's cute, it's a nice little extra, but it doesn't really add much to the kit. If you were to take a tape measure, it's almost 5 feet long. I know I don't have it quite coupled, but it's basically 5 feet long, and it's only 3 cars. It is huge, and it is heavy. And of course, there are some parts which, like high quality Technic kits are very small. There's actually a lot of parts on here that are very big. These panels are 1-pieces. The roof contains a lot of large 1-piece curves. So sometimes 4,000 pieces can be deceiving. But in here, there's a lot of meat to this. So let's start off by looking at the engine. The engine does have a very nicely detailed. It's a total of 8 wheels on each side, 16 wheels total. Matter of fact, both the operations car and the nuclear missile car also have a total of 16 wheels each. Just amazing details. The doors don't actually open on the side, but it's a really great look. You can actually have some windows in there. You can see inside there's an engine in there, which we'll see. If you go around to the front, it has a license plate. These are, I supposedly Russian appropriate military colors, colors that actually match the real life train. This is based off a real train, by the way. I mean, the train exists. Whether or not the nuclear missile works or not, well, you know my thoughts on that. And you can see these are all printed. There's no stickers with this. These are printed parts, printed parts. The plate is a printed part. Everything is printed on this. It is really, really impressive. And if you take off the top, that is an impressive looking little engine in the middle of it. So it's a large internal combustion diesel engine probably. And it includes both a forward cab and a reverse cab. Let's see if I can turn the camera in a little bit. Those are all printed parts. The keyboard, the dials, the gauges, the phone. There's a tremendous level of detail and printed parts on this. I can't speak highly enough of just how much fun this was to put together. So you can see there's two in the front. There's a little speed gauge right in the middle. The engine, if I may, actually does come out, and I will actually rest it on top of the of the other Lego car. Of course, that's a separate kit. Again, this is not a functional engine, but it looks extremely cool. And there's the insides. These are very nicely silver-plated pieces that are in there. As you can see, there's more gauges there that you can only see the dials through the windows. So the operators of the engine, front or back, could actually look through those little windows and they could see the dials. Again, the doors don't open on the sides, but it is a very convincing look. I'm not going to bother to put the engine back in right now, and the top fits very nicely. It won't come off. It won't shake off. There's just enough tabs to keep that thing on there. So here's the operations car. So it looks pretty plain, right? It does have sliding doors on both sides, but that's not going to really let you see much. It looks like it has some doors on the front and back. But they don't actually function. Just like the real train, by the way, the windows are grayed out. They did a great job at modeling this after something that really exists. So now let's explore the inside of this. In the middle, you have functioning doors on both sides. And this is like a little entry room. This is a mechanic's room, and you can see in there you have, it's a little messy right now. Some of the tools fell out. But you have a place for an oiling kit for your wrenches, your screwdrivers. There's a automatic drill in there, a place for extra helmets, if you will. You have a bunk beds, room for 8 people to sleep in this. 8 people to sleep relatively comfortably. This is one of the benefits, I guess, of having an 8-wide train. So each of the bunks are, what, 2 wide? You have enough area for the little minis to walk in between. It's pretty sweet. And then you have a door, a functioning door, and then this is the bathroom. And in the bathroom, you got a stall, you got a nice modern sink there, you have your shampoo and your conditioners. Pretty cool toilet right there, modern toilet. So everyone has very nice accommodations in here. This is the kitchen. You need to keep the minifigures well fed. I don't know what kind of food coordinates the different colors in there. But if you do open up the stove, you'll find a couple chickens and big biscuits and pies in there. So they are definitely well fed. Nice selection of cookware. This is the coolest room here. Look, again, there's no stickers. These are all printed parts. This is the operations room. So if they're going to receive a call from Putin to say it's time to launch the missile, this is where the minis would go. This is where they make the phone call. These are the gauges. And I think on the opposite side, this is there's some storage space there. There's some more phones, radio equipment, maps. The seats do swivel a little bit. It's everything you need to make sure that it definitely is time to launch the nukes and they're going to be going to the right place. So, last but not least, we're going to go to the last car here. This car is the same length as the operations car, except this is the missile car, okay? And again, this one, the top doesn't just come off, it actually folds back. Okay, the door is still open, but there's really no reason to open the doors because you can't actually walk in there until the missile comes up. So, hard to do this with one hand. Let's cut that part out. Okay, so now it is finally going up into place. There we go. And boom. The missile is now raised and loaded, and the nuke, which should have been acquired by Ditra and Andy Weber, is now ready to go. The missile does come out. It does have some little stabilizers here. The real train, they actually have these long arms that come out to the side because there's a lot of force, as you can imagine, from a rocket that's being launched into space to go to another continent. So the real train does need to have special stabilizers that kick out to the side. This was meant to look like a passenger train, so it wouldn't be known when looking at it from space that it was actually a train carrying nuclear missile technology. This was meant to really confuse the Americans and for whoever else Russia was combative with. So instead of just having fixed locations for their missile silos, now anywhere there's a train track, and there's a lot of train track in Russian Federation, or previously the Soviet Union, which means anywhere there's a train track now could be a place where nuclear missiles are launched. One little fun detail about the engine here. Let's take off the top again. And you can see there's actually two functional lights in there. My big clumsy hands, kind of hard to do this. You can see there's what it looks like. There's a little switch. I don't know how long this thing will actually work, how long these batteries will last. I haven't really run them that long. If you then take it, put the lights on, put that top on, okay? And then turn the lights off, well, there you go. Now it's actually lit from the inside out. Looks pretty cool. I mean, the headlight isn't on. This is what you'll see. If the minifigs were in there, you'd be able to definitely be able to identify their faces. You know, this is actually a small lighting kit that comes with it. No additional cost. It's actually part of the kit itself. Last thing I'm going to review here is this part, and these are the minifigures that come with it. They are all ridiculously awesome. They are close to Lego minifigure specs, but not quite. And there is a variety of weapons. This one is almost like a John Wick. It's got the smaller handgun. I'm no munitions expert, so you'll just have to do your best to understand what type of weapons each of these are. This looks like a rifle. I'm not sure if these guys are meant to be Koreans, North Koreans, or Russians. It's not really clear. They look a little bit different than the rest. Anyways, the rest, we have different military classifications. A total of 8 minifigures, by the way, and each one is given a different weapon. You can choose whatever weapon you want for each of them. It's a nice big scope on that automatic weapon. This guy seems to be rather happy about the type of weapon he has. You can see the one red star representing the Soviet Union. It's a nice big rifle he has. I don't know if this is the colonel or the train captain. He's the only one that has that particular hat. The rest have helmets. And these two guys down here have hair. And last but not least, there's this guy sporting the goatee. There's a couple printed parts here in this little pointless station, but whatever. I don't think this is why you'll buy it. If you go for this kit, it's gonna be because you actually want a Lego kit that has a nuclear missile in it. It's because you want a Lego kit that is a lot of beef to the cars and is 8 studs wide on each car. You're gonna buy it because it has a boatload of custom printed parts, more than I've ever seen in a kit in ages. Definitely more than anything you can get from actual Lego. The minifigure is awesome, custom weapons, some lights included with it, just the size of it, it's just so awesome. I wish the bogies turned so it could actually go around turns. The ability to maybe motorize this in the future is definitely possible. The detail is great. The value is awesome. It's a lot of fun to put together. It's very solid, with the exception of this little extra thing, which I almost don't even count. The only reason I'm actually showing this is just so you know it comes with it, and to give a nice little place to show off the minifigures that come with the kit. So that's it, everyone. Again, missile train, the SS-24. I don't know exactly who the manufacturer is. There's the part number, 628006. These are other kits that they have. It could be Panlos or Palnos. I'm not sure. You'll see these listed on like General Gyms, or if you go to USA Blocks, you'll see that they have these parts listed. I haven't tried the other ones, but this train is just awesome. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you do buy this kit, you will not be disappointed. Take care, everyone. God bless.